another episode of the Freeman Perspective. I hope this one's going to be a visually stimulating show for you tonight, and if you actually have a pair of 3D goggles or glasses sitting around the house, you might want to put them on. This is going to be fun. My little tribute to South by Southwest. Whew, I've been running. Yeah, getting this show together. Well, it turns out that my guest has not phoned. We have Kent Brentowski scheduled for tonight, and haven't got to hear from him yet. So we'll see if he calls in. If not, I have some other special guests for you, and we'll get to all that. All right, I'm trying. Well, all right, well, here we go. Tonight was going to be all about self-initiated magic, good versus bad magic. And I'll get Kent back. I don't know what happened to him. This is the first time I've had them phone me. So maybe we could take some phone calls tonight if we end up getting bored enough. So on my mind, I've been thinking a lot about what's going on. And I just saw Milosevic died in his cell. It's interesting that there's another suicide around the Clinton family. I don't know if many of you know this or not, but there are a great many suicides around the Clinton family. Bill Clinton actually passed a law in Arkansas saying that any death found to be a suicide would no longer be investigated. No further investigation would be required. Then there were over 100 suicides around the Clinton family. So either they're very depressing people, or there's something fishy going on here. And here's Milosevic getting ready to get Clinton into the tribunal, and lo and behold, he dies. I'd say that quite possibly murder. That's still yet to be seen, but boy, it wouldn't surprise me a bit with this group. Well, I'm caught a little off guard here, folks, because I don't know what to do about our guest lecturer tonight. Keep getting this thing flashing, but I have a feeling something's gonna not work out with that. So maybe we'll take some calls. Even though that's not working right now either. Yeah, I'm lost, guys. I'm lost. Yeah, call in. I'd like to talk to you guys a little bit about what might occur here, which I'm pretty certain will occur, and that is the chemtrail activity for South by Southwest. I want you all watching. You know, notice these things. Notice what's going on in your skies. As if you'll notice that right tonight, go out and look at this full moon in Virgo. We got the full moon that just had a lunar eclipse. Of course, we didn't get to see that in America, but if you go look at the moon right now, you're going to see two big old chemtrails floating along beside it. Now, these are not natural occurrences. They're not contrails. They're not anything that anyone's willing to admit to. So most likely are not there for our benefit. The symptoms of chemtrails will be lethargy. You get very tired. Now, when I was in Tucson for the Gem and Mineral Show, we had heavy chemtrail activity and a number of people getting sick. A lot of people thought they had the flu, and the ingredients in chemtrails very much so will give you flu-like symptoms. So the symptoms become, you get very tired. Now, I went through it too. I was in Tucson. I was sick from it also. And you get very tired. Then your joints start to ache, right? Your shoulders and your lower back will start to ache. And then you'll start to feel a little nausea. And mostly if you're active, if you're doing something. And then you'll be sitting there with a fever for the rest of the night, and the symptoms will probably pass by the next day. There was absolutely a huge chemtrail presence there in Tucson, and I noticed that these chemtrail activities happen because of people, right? They are targeting people with these chemtrails. So when there's a large activity that brings people from all over the world, like the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show, like South by Southwest, they're going to spray the heck out of us. Okay? So when you're going to South by Southwest, take the time and look up in the sky. Notice the grid patterns. Notice that what will occur will be light on Wednesday, light on Thursday, but by Friday, it's going to be heavy, super heavy, because the more people, the more chemtrails. Coincidence? I don't know. But you're going to notice that these chemtrails will bring the temperature down. So by nighttime on Saturday, it should be, or Friday, most likely Friday, it'll be super cold. The temps will drop. And it's due to these chemtrails. I've been watching them for years now, and I've watched the effects. Because the following day, that'll most likely be Saturday, we're going to have super radiant sun. This is something that I've noticed continually with the chemtrails. They seem to, when they dissipate, you can watch them, okay? Even tonight, I saw 4 chemtrails being formed, and then I saw 2 other jets flying through them without chemtrails. So I'm trying to show you that this is not a natural occurrence. You know, if you go up there and watch, I live near the airport, so I can see it a lot, that some jets leave the trails, some don't. Now this mixture, which we have found to be barium, aluminum, there's even pathogens like anthrax and flu viruses in the chemtrails, which no one can really explain what that's about other than thinking they're trying to kill us off. These chemtrails will spread. You can watch them as they spread across the sky. And then as it becomes a thin layer, I'm not sure what causes this effect, but the sun becomes super radiant. Like, so bright and so hot, it's almost as if it had cleared away the ionosphere, the ozone layer. So keep an eye out now on South by Southwest, see if I'm wrong. See if it's already begun tonight, and tomorrow it'll be heavier. By Friday it's going to be super heavy, and you're going to see these chemtrails, and you're going to wonder what they are, and you're going to feel the symptoms. So be careful. And I'm looking for a cure. I've got a few things on my website where you can actually take some, I'm taking selenium right now because it pulls out the heavy metals. And a lot of the problem is people think that they're dealing with a virus because the symptoms feel like a sickness. But the truth is it's heavy metal poisoning. And so I've got some healers working on that. And I personally carry around my own orgonite, which Jeff here at ACTV, he's been known to make orgonite. I think his site's like Orgone Wizard. And I've got a couple of orgonite links on my site. This is a Reiki technology that's used to repel negative orgone and has been shown to clear or dissipate chemtrails. It's an amazing thing. Well, I see this thing flashing, and honestly, I don't know if I can even hear phone calls or not because things blew up in here yesterday, and I think this is why we're having so many problems. They had to rewire the whole thing, and I think a few things got left out. So if I can't get through here, I've got James waiting in the back room there to come and talk to us about voter rescue. You finding, Shaggy, anything there with the phones? Any luck? I don't know. It looks like you all are calling in, but I can't hear you, so. Oh, if you're using the screen and you can use the phone. Right. Try the floor and the floor button and the other button there. They're right next to each other. Well, everything got changed. Nothing has titles on it. We've got all new equipment in there and nothing is labeled. I don't know, Shag. Sorry. I mean, this isn't really our fault. So, here we are. We got an hour, got some time to talk to y'all, and can't. Oh, I hear noise in here. All right, that's a good sign. Are you there? All right, well, hold on a sec, Shag, because now I got some sound going in here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. It just so happens it's pretty crazy, but I was on my way home today, probably about 15 minutes ago, right before I was watching the show, and I saw some trails right next to the moon, because I was noticing the full moon.
Uh-huh.
And there was some chemtrails, and my friend was just jokingly saying something about them, and then we come flip on the TV, and you just go off on them, man. That's some crazy stuff. I didn't know all this. When we put it together, I mean, it makes sense.
It really is. You know, the official story, well, the unofficial official story, right, is that these chemtrails are up there as a biological chemical warfare shield. So what they can do is actually shoot lasers up into the grid pattern and detect particles per million coming into the atmosphere in case somebody wanted to dump something on us. But of course, that's not what the ingredients show. You know, why would there be anthrax viruses in there, illnesses in there? Have you felt? Well, you wouldn't know yet the symptoms.
Well, I mean, I mean, me personally, I always see them. I guess we're over like some kind of line or something of the mill. I don't know. I just always see chemtrails above my house, and I don't know. I've been I don't know, flu type symptoms, I guess. I don't know.
Upper respiratory infection.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that. Just, I mean, sinus medicine and allergy medicine didn't do anything for me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we're dealing with a heavy metal, and then also the stuff that they use to keep the trails together is a polymer fiber, and this is all going right into our lungs, you know. People in higher altitudes find this stuff actually laying on their cars, and that's how people have tested the substances coming down, because it actually was hitting the ground when they first started this, and people were finding the actual spiderweb type substance in their front yard, and they'd pick it up and immediately get the flu, or at least they thought they were. And next thing you knew, the news was reporting a flu-like epidemic. And they actually reported that there is no virus, but everyone has flu-like symptoms. So they just called it a flu-like symptom epidemic. It's crazy.
That's crazy, man. I didn't really piece that together.
Yeah. Well, watch this weekend. I mean, I guarantee it's going to be so heavy for South by Southwest because they're absolutely targeting humans.
Yeah. I mean, why do you think they would do this? Is population control, or what? What's the deal?
Yeah, my hypothesis on the whole thing is not a bright and shiny one for sure. I personally believe that they are setting up Armageddon, and through all the different technologies with HARP and the chip and chemtrails, the things that we're breathing, even the stuff that they're putting in our food and water,
Patriot Act.
they're going to be able to, you know, create plagues and famines, you know, with genetically modified foods. So it's going to appear like it's Armageddon. And then I think that with HARP, like we breathe in all these dormant viruses, and then HARP has the ability, and I've done a lot of research on HARP, I got a video on it, that it can actually activate these dormant viruses. So they can all sit there in our body for as long as they need to, and then they can turn them on like that with this frequency modulator. It's the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Go to my website and check it out. I got a lot of info on there, a lot of links.
It just seems like, why wouldn't they just, instead of going through all this craziness, just drop the plague up on us or something, you know?
They need good servants, you know. It's conditioning. It's psychological warfare. So, you know, if
you think Bush is behind this?
Well, no. If he had a brain cell, I would maybe think he was a threat. But no, he's the front man. He was chosen to be a tyrant. There again, psychological operations. If you watch, Bill Clinton was railroaded into office too, whether anybody believes that or not. And the motto in Arkansas was elect Clinton, get him out of Arkansas, because he was, once again, like I was saying earlier, connected with all these suicides. Everybody knew he's a coke-snorting womanizer. So they put him in office to defile the idea of the president, the very ideal of our, you know, it's not the one you see on TV. And they would have never brought up the cigar in front of any other president. They did that on purpose to really bring down any of this is for our benefit, right? This is why he's now getting paid off. This is why you see him hanging out with George Sr., because he's getting paid off for taking the fall. His whole goal, his whole purpose of being in office was to defile our ideal of the president. And then W gets railroaded into office so that we lose all faith in our government and all faith in the system that's running it, and so that a tyrant could be in charge. Because what we're looking at is a globalist scheme, and in a globalist environment, you can't have a shining beacon of freedom like America. So you have to turn America into a perverted, tyrannical beast, so that when the global government's in place, you can go, well, look what freedom gave America. They became a bunch of perverted tyrants. And tyrants, W's job. And that's why all that's going on there. Well, thank you very much for your call.
Hey, one more thing, man.
Yeah.
Do you think? What do you think about like Alex Jones and all his craziness?
I love Alex, and I'm supposed to be speaking with Alex on Thursday at Cafe Monday. Alex does a fantastic job. He works way harder than I ever think about doing it. I like to read a lot. I like to study this stuff, but I mean, he's right on. I think my only criticism would be that he kind of has a fear-based program that it's like Big Brother's coming to get you. Well, yeah, what do you do now? And
I think he's a little out there. I mean, most of the opinions he tries to express are valid, but it's just the way he goes about expressing them, like angrily, and just I don't know. He goes about things wrong, I think. But I guess that's why he is who he is.
Yeah, he's popular, and that is what makes him who he is. And God love him. He's out there. I mean, he's a bulldog, but. Yeah, I'm trying to hopefully spread a similar message, but of course I'm looking at this occultically. I'm into like understanding why they're doing such things on particular dates and why they worship this goddess Columbia and things of that note, as opposed to Big Brother. Big Brother's kind of a side note to the whole thing. Really, to me, this all boils down to a bunch of occultists, and therefore, what are they up to? Why would why do they perform these rituals? What is the outcome? What's the goal?
Talking about Bohemian Grove.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, Bohemian Grove, they worship the owl, right? Yeah. Well, you look downtown at the Frost Bank, and it's an owl, right? Yeah. So, and that owl is surrounded by pentagrams. So,
George Bush doesn't really live here anymore. He lives in D.C. now. Why would he put the owl here? Why wouldn't he put it in D.C.?
Oh, it has nothing to do with Bush. He's nothing. I mean, he's what he is. But this is actually, you'll find that the cities are set up in such a way that they have their own occultic powers, and it's actually geomancy going on.
Hey, do you think Schwarzenegger's behind all this, or what's the deal?
No, pretty much. If you find people in the front, then they're not the ones in charge. All right, I'm going to take a couple more calls, so thanks, man. That's... are you there?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, this is Steve on 6th.
I'm sorry?
Steve on 6th.
Oh, hey, Steve, what's up?
Good week to come down. I was noticing the chemtrails today, too, but...
I'm glad so many people are noticing,
Well, it's been going on. I've been noticing since the year 2000, and I want to say also I support Alex 100%. And
yeah.
He's a very brave person. He's done a lot of brave things that most people wouldn't even consider.
Right.
But I had, do you want to discuss something real quick?
Sure.
I had an interesting talk with a rabbi from the Reform side of Judaism, and I wanted to ask him about the Talmud. And he had an interesting comment on that. And because it seems, according to Christian and Tex Mars and things, that it's very antichrist, okay?
Right.
And what he said was, when Moses, when they got the Old Testament, they also got a oral interpretation of it, a written and an oral. And it's the oral, it's as if the Constitution is like the Old Testament, yet they've written statutes and codes and things to subvert it to do what they want to do. And that's what the Talmud is. It's man's interpretation of the written law, which, man's going to start interpreting it to mean whatever he wants. I didn't tell him that, but that's what he told me. It's
Right.
very interesting to see, speaking of, because we've been studying a lot about the words of Jesus and how it conflicts with some of these ideas. So you and I always have long conversations. That's what we can talk about next time you come downtown.
Awesome. All right.
So we'll look for you, and I'll watch the rest of your show.
All right. I'll be sitting out in front of South by Southwest this weekend for sure.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Oh, I think I just hung up on you. You waited all that time. Sorry about that. You got phone lines are busy, man. Yeah, we were going to talk a little bit about solar deities. Hey, are you there? Hello.
Hello.
Hello. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was doing some research on the internet, and I saw a couple of dates pop up recently that are dates to watch, as far as March 22nd, and 322, and June 6th.
Right. 666.
I was curious to know if you had any other numbers or any other dates that would be potential to watch, and then I can't hear you over my phone, so I'm just going to turn.
Okay. Yeah, things aren't working quite right here. Yeah, it was a very interesting, and I've wondered a lot about this. Now, honestly, I registered 911 simply because of its constant usage. The 322 absolutely is one of their main numbers, and it's been 1,000 years since we've had 666, right? I had my eye on March 20th just to because of the whole Iran-Euro for oil deal coming up that date. That should be an interesting day, and it would be interesting if there was something that occurred on 322, following right after that, or, yeah, I wish I had their calendar. I've looked for it for I was going to say centuries. I've been looking for it for as long as I've been studying the Masons. They have the Anno Lucius calendar, and if you go down to the courthouse downtown, you'll see that the courthouse is dated to 5,940 something AL, the Anno Lucius calendar, the Age of Light. The light bringer, Lucifer, that's what this is all about. But what does that mean? I don't know. I'm still working on that one. So it's the year 6005 right now to those in the know. What does that mean? What is it? I'm sorry. I have not found the Anno Lucius calendar. So if you guys want to help out and try and find the Anno Lucius calendar, email it to me at blueflyfree@gmail, or go to my website, thefreemanperspective.blogspot.com, and let's try and get into this. It's a fun adventure that I'm on here, and I want everybody to join along because it's way intriguing. I got here with me the Complete System of Magic of the Golden Dawn. This is one of the magical schools. I brought this along because I was going to have a magician on to kind of counter the Christian perspective, or to, throw in, just to have all angles of things. But here we have a self-initiation into the Golden Dawn, into the realms of magic, and this sort of stuff's going on all over the place. I'm always amazed to see that I'll sit at a coffee shop and there's some kids sitting around talking about the Sephiroth and the geomantic expressions in a cube, and they're just kids on the street, don't have a job, hanging out, just doing their occultism, checking it out. There's a lot of you out there. All right. Hello.
Hello?
I'll figure it. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What about the chemtrails? Are you allowed to go to outside, or does it affect you right away?
Yeah, it takes a build-up for sure. It took about a week in Tucson before I started to feel sick, and it was so constant.
You gonna go to watching the music down in Austin?
Yeah, I'm gonna go out. You know, what can you do? You know, it's going on. It's going on all around. It's happening day and night. It's hitting us while we're asleep, awake, whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought about, wearing a gas mask just to make a point.
Yeah, because
but
it's dangerous, And do you do like prescription drugs?
No, really.
Yeah, because I coming to see a band called Rocco Toluca and the Birding, and they're playing here in Austin. Amazing band. You should go to watching them.
Right on. Where are they playing?
It's called Moo
Moo. All right.
You know what that is?
No.
Okay, because I'm really worried about the chemical things, but I don't know.
Yeah, I want to get to the bottom of this thing. I really want to find the jets, find the dispersal methods. There's so many people involved. I mean, you go onto the web and just type in chemtrails, and it's going to list you 10,000 pages. So many of us looking at this thing, but yet we can't come up with answers from any sort of official response.
Do you think the government is releasing the chemicals in the air to mess up us in nothing?
I mean, I personally think it's NATO. It's the first foreign force to ever fly in American skies.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you identified it, because I was always wondering what those things were flying to around the air.
Yeah.
And it's visible. It's visible too, know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
But people, they don't think about it, and nobody expects their government to be out to get them.
They might tell us when it's too late too, and why wait until the last minute? Get a hold of it right now.
Yeah. And so many people are trying, but it's an amazing thing how, I mean, this is information that's more blocked than UFOs.
Yeah.
I'm finding more and more researchers looking into it, and no one coming up with any sort of official answer. Certainly there's a patent with NASA for weather modification, and they just passed the weather modification bill. So there is, documentation of chemtrails, of what,
That's the right. I'm not pronouncing the chemtrails. That's the scientific name for that, or do you?
No, that's the name that just kind of got placed on them.
Yeah, it's smooth. It'd be a good name for a band.
Yeah, it would.
Chemtrail, Hey, man, thanks for talking with you, and enjoy the festival, and I'm talking with you later.
All right, namaste.
Okay, adios.
Adios. All right. Hey, I try. Are you there? Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to mention that there is a big demonstration that has been organized against chemtrails.
Really?
They're going to march on Senator Barbara Boxer's office in Los Angeles on the 23rd of March. I believe that's a week from tomorrow.
Huh.
And they're inviting people from all over the country, and so far it looks like they're going to have a pretty good turnout. And this is going to be the first major demonstration that I know of all about chemtrails.
Wow.
So I just thought I'd put the word out. So tell anybody you know. In fact, I'll send you an email and shoot you to a connection to it, so you can pass it on to anybody that you know about. But it's very well organized. They've got their permits, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And they're not going to shut them down. They're going to be no telling how many people they're filming, videotaping the thing.
Yeah, I wish I could be there.
So hopefully this will start to arouse some pretty good attention to the subject matter. But anyway, enjoy your show. Appreciate what you're doing. I'll get that to you a little later this evening.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Wow. So it's really going on, folks. I mean, we've got activity. I'm gonna report to you any information that I can get on this. You can check out my DVD. You can get these from my website. I have the whole chemtrail video on there. Has a lot of information in there. It's also got HARP and corporate logos, Columbia, and of course Rainbow. All about synchronicity and the synchronistic things that are occurring right now, as I decided to talk about chemtrails over anything else, and now we got plenty of response. And I love that, because we need to find out, people. This is not something, I mean, personally, I guess I'm somewhat of a defeatist. I don't believe that we can do things to stop these guys until everyone realizes that there's something going on here. And I'm not just talking about the chemtrails. I'm talking about these occultists and good versus bad magic, and all of the things that are going on right now around us are truly bizarre. I mean, people haven't experienced such things yet. Kabbalism has come to the forefront of everything. It's in our TVs, it's on our radios, and our people. Hippies are studying it in coffee shops. Books of it are bound. It's become the new religion. And everybody's just trying to figure out what's going on with this whole magic. So, I just went off on a tangent there. Hello?
Freeman.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Hey, man.
Hey, so glad you're talking about chemtrails. It should be the number one topic. It should be on the front page of the newspaper every day. I mean, it's so clear. Just look up. I mean, look up tonight. I was driving around like right before your show, just like you know, right over the moon, grids and 3 parallel lines laid right together. I mean, it's absurd.
Right. I guess when people don't know, you know, when you don't know what it is, for me, it was kind of a shock, because when I saw my first trail, I thought it was a rocket launch, because, you know, I grew up in Orlando, and that's what you saw, were rocket launches and the big trail left behind the space shuttle, or, you know, the Apollos.
Well, there's so many people who have it confused with a real contrail, and it's just so easy to see the difference, and you can observe both at the same time.
Exactly.
You can observe chemtrails and contrails at the same exact moment, and even at the same altitude, which blows away their BS cover story about, you know, it has to be the right temperature on the right day.
Right.
We're sunscreening. I think that's a bunch of BS.
Yeah, because, I mean, it happens at night.
Exactly.
I have another great video linked to my site also on that, and it has actual video footage of a jet emitting a contrail through the chemtrails.
Yeah, I've actually seen it.
All right.
I think what bothers me the most about it is you can filter your water, you can buy organic food, you can do everything, but you cannot control this.
Right.
And you mentioned selenium. What else have you discovered?
Selenium and organite, you know. That's all I've got so far. You know, we got hit real bad out at the Rainbow Gathering, and I've still been suffering from that since the 1996.
Right. Well, I've had 2 URIs or flus or whatever in the last 90 days.
Right.
And you know, something's up. That's for sure.
Isn't it amazing that we can't
about it.
get
I think
to
the direction
what?
we need to head is to find out what's going to help clean our bodies of this.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any control over them spraying it, and it's not going to stop.
Right. Well, it's reported that it will stop, but when it does, that's when we should start worrying.
Well, I'm with you. I agree with that theory. I think that they're weakening our immune systems right now. I know that's a lot of people don't want to deal with that. They don't want to think about that.
I know.
But what else could it be, man?
Right. I mean, we can't stick our heads in the sand because the sand's filled to barium too.
Well, right on. All right. Well, I'm going to let you take some more calls. I just wanted to say hey.
Yeah,
good job, man.
Thanks.
Later.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Fine. I just turned on to your show, Mr. Freeman, and I've always been wondering what the chemtrails are about, or why are they being done. I heard somebody say that they were used for weather modification, so people could see patterns in the sky from satellites.
There's that. It's generally not accepted that it's going to be used for weather modification, but you know how these guys are. They have, you know, at least a 3-fold operation. It's never just one. So, you know, the common response from the military is that it's a chemical biological warfare shield, so it can detect incoming particles through lasers. And then, but then when you start to look at the ingredients, you recognize that it's a really good population culling technology floating in our air. And yeah, they could very well, we've reached the point where they're ready to hit the New World Order, get the global government involved, and actually be ruling, as they put it, through the divine power of Lucifer. This is the Masons' own words. World War III, I firmly believe, is right around the corner. But it's going to be a war unlike any other. It's because they have the seeming power of God. If you want to know more about weather modification and ability to generate earthquakes and floods, not to mention to steer hurricanes, look into HARP. Once again, if you go to my website, just search the Freeman Perspective and go to my website, and I have a video there on HARP and all the links that you'll possibly need. But with HARP and with the chemtrails, they can absolutely manifest this false apocalypse. They can... And see, the chip is a prime factor in this whole thing, because HARP is a frequency modulator, and of course everything is frequency. And then the chemtrails are heavy metals which remain in our body and can be activated through HARP. The aluminum in the chemtrails makes us a fine antenna. And if we actually have a chip, then they can actually determine who is going to receive the illness frequencies. You see, it's amazing stuff. But all the science is there.
You can Google Freeman?
Yeah, just Google the Freeman Perspective.
Freeman Perspective?
Yeah.
And what are some tips for trying to keep yourself healthy?
Well, like I say, I'm wearing my orgonite. This is Reiki and technology. I know it seems odd and weird, but it's a polymer filled with, or a resin filled with quartz crystals, silver, copper, and then a coiled wire. You can actually make large ones. People are doing it all over Austin. They call them chem busters or cloud busters, and I have a link to that on this site as well. And this orgone Reiki and technology is out there, which has been suppressed heavily, just like the Tesla technology. They're both being used against us right at this time. HARP is Tesla, and this chemtrail has to deal with orgone. So these are new sciences that aren't really being discussed in the open too much, except for by conspiracy theorists, right?
Well, they haven't shut you all down yet, so
right.
that's a good thing. So I enjoy your show. Please keep up the good work.
Thank you. Hello.
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 You're going to be my last call. What's going on?
Okay, cool. It's me. Okay. So, my theory on the chemtrails is this. It's kind of freaky, and, I don't mean to, tweak with your paranoia or anything here. But, okay. So, what LSD is?
Yeah, I've heard of this stuff.
Okay. You know how much, LSD is actually in a hit of LSD? A little vial.
Very
how many
little.
People? Very, very little.
Yes.
And LSD was discovered, late 50s by the Sandoz company, the actual chemical structure that makes LSD. It was the late 50s they discovered it. It was a Sandoz company in Sweden. Now, if you could tweak that molecule or make a similar molecule and put that in a liquid, liquid LSD, and then make that liquid into a gas,
right?
You could put it into say chemtrails and use it to not make people trip, but make people anti-trip, not wake people up, but put them to sleep. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Because such a small amount of LSD is actually necessary for somebody to trip. That if you had something similar, conceptually, you could use it not to wake people up, but to put people asleep. And I think that's what's actually going on. And the bronchial effects are just a side effect of the actual mind-altering substance that could possibly be in it.
There's been a lot of talk of, and I think I've been hit with that a couple of times coming in here and been totally mind-wiped. And it was interesting because they were talking about it on GCN that night. Well, I want to add to that, and then we'll have to close this up because I got another guest, that HARP, once again, the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program can actually tweak your brain using a proper frequency and cause the effects of psychoactive drugs.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out there in the water and yada, yada, yada. And there's ways to fight it, of course. But, I mean, it was just like my own personal theory of, like, you could do that.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
totally,
it is feasible.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And if people aren't paying attention, if they're not looking... Shag says, what's up, babe?
Hey, babe, what's up? But anyways, I'll let you guys get to, like, your real guess. You know, that was one of my random chemtrail theories. Lots of drum. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Sorry I can't take any more. We got, you want to send James on in? We got James coming on. Oh, I wanted to mention something. Well, I brought the old bowl here, right? I picked this up in Tucson. I ran into a friend, Kenny Parker, and he told me I should go check out the Bodhisattva guys and check out he had a whole room full of these bowls, and it was just the coolest thing ever. And so I ended up running into the Bodhisattva guys, and they actually traded me this bowl, which is handcrafted by the Tibetan group or the Nepalese in Nepal, by a group that's been doing it for centuries. And they traded me for the DVD, so, I thought, wow, I could make a good deal there. So did they. But so it turns out that Kenny Parker's going to do a Tibetan singing bowl concert here in Austin. So I wanted to show that, because that's going to be really cool. It's sound healing, and we're looking for answers for these chemtrails. We're looking for answers to the frequency modulators, and we're looking at harmonics, right? And so Kenny Parker, Master Sound Healer, will be putting on a concert March 17th, 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then there's going to be a seminar all day long on the 18th. So that's March 17th and 18th. It's up there on the screen. Give them a call. Check it out. This stuff is cool. If you hear it with all the different bowls, they're all set up to the phi ratio. And, maybe this will be an answer, because really we're looking now at things that are beyond what we consider third-dimensional reality. And so we're dealing with harmonics, with vibrations. So check out this concert, and hey, it might save your life. You never know. All right. Well, now let's move on. James. Let's pull up a chair.
I think I will.
We got the
like a bowl.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
You know Royal Raymond Rife is, right?
William?
Royal Raymond Rife.
Rife. Yeah, no. I know the name.
Well, he does. He had a generator that kills diseases using sound harmonics.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
One of those. It looks pretty neat.
It's cool. Because you can get so many different tones. You get a little...
Can I try it?
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Yeah, as far as...
Yeah, see, Ken and the other guys taught me the proper technique of getting a...
If I play the wrong tune, will the universe explode or something?
Oh, yeah, it'll all revert back on itself.
Okay.
All right, well, let's jump to voters.
Let's jump to this.
Okay, because...
Sorry, this is a good topic, but as far as herbal remedies for chemtrails, I highly recommend oral chelation therapy.
Oral chelation therapy,
yes.
What is that?
It's it gets the heavy metals out of your brain.
Yeah?
And all you gotta do is take 4 pills a day.
4 pills a day.
That's it. And I know I can't give plugs out on the air, but let's just say the place rhymes with Meeple's Marmacy, and you can get it there. It's really cheap. It's good.
And it's chelation. What would I go in and ask for?
Just ask for the oral chelating compound. That's
oral chelating compound. Okay.
Yep. Good stuff with selenium. But not to change this good subject. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem.
But there's going to be a little get-together on Thursday. And that's going to be at Cafe Mundi at 1704 East 5th Street. And it kicks off at 8 o'clock, and it's going to be going until 10. This is just a preliminary flyer. We got a better one.
So now we're showing electile dysfunction, right?
Yeah, like the name?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Totally. It's a documentary about the problems with electronic voting machines. You have you've got cases where there's tons and tons of fraud going on. We've got one of our on the back of our little flyer. We're going to have this little map, and it's basically detailing all these examples. And Travis County, Texas, right where we live and breathe. Pressing enter after a straight Democratic vote changes vote to Bush on e-slate machines.
Right.
Just like that. There's no paper receipt showing you what you voted for.
Right.
So, what the problem is that if there's any sort of discrepancy, guess what, folks? You can't go back and count.
Right.
That's it. But we're gonna have some guests. You're going to be there.
I'm going to be there.
I'll be talking. We're going to have Freeman there.
And have we gotten confirmation on Alex Jones yet?
We have got confirmation with Jack Blood.
Jack Blood, awesome.
Yes,
all right.
We got Jack
Blood.
Man. And our spokeslady, Vicky Karp, is going to be there. This woman
Vicky will be there?
She is a hard worker. This woman's got steel for blood.
Yeah.
It's unreal. We also have some music directly following the festivities. DJ OT23 is going to be going crazy there. I just listened to a CD on the way here. It's good stuff.
I hear they're political.
Yes, slightly.
Yeah.
Slightly. It's like politics meets chemistry. But 8 to 10 p.m. Check it out. The movie is about an hour long, and we're not here to shock and scare people. We want to empower people. We want people to know that there is a way to fix things. I don't know about the chemtrails, but we can fix this.
We hear about the march going on. They just said that's pretty cool. That's a big step.
Big step.
I'm excited about this Thursday at Mondays. Yeah, it's at Cafe Monday. There it is again up on.
Hey, all right. Okay.
And the electile dysfunction. Who produced that? Do you know? Or is that a local production, I should say?
No, that's a group out of the Northwest. I should have brought their names.
That's all right. We'll put it on.
But they've got their own little website that's very informative. And let's see, that's about all I know about it right now.
All right.
I'll be kind of new to it also. It was kind of forced onto me by my superiors.
Oh, yeah.
Here, show this. I love it.
Yeah. Right. And hopefully we'll find a little extra time to look at one of a couple of minutes of my video.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, whatever.
Everybody's hey,
I'm always trying to get the info out there.
Absolutely, but doesn't hurt
show the chemtrail video.
Bill.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So I will definitely be there, and Jack will definitely be there. We're going to get together at the coffee shop. We're going to watch this movie, talk about things, and explore this. If you watch my show, I've got kind of a disbelief in voting and elections as it goes, but this is getting ridiculous. I mean, this is to the point of, we don't even care anymore. We're just gonna take the election and no more charade anymore. At least we had the facade that we were like free citizens and we got to elect a president. But personally, I don't believe that.
I don't either. You brought up a good point. The idea that it's wide in the open. If you if you search, like the CNN website, they've got transcripts of Ralph Nader was talking in Florida immediately after the election, and what's his name? Christopher Bolin asked a question about these electronic voting machines. And they took his question off of the transcript. You can't find it. It just says Christopher Berlin, question.
Right.
And then it shows Ralph Nader's answer. And you can read between the lines and figure out what he was asking. Right. But it's in broad daylight. They cut it right off the website.
It's amazing. We so live in 1984. When I saw George Bush change the 911 to Saddam Hussein, I was like, that's it. We're at war with Eurasia. We're at war with, I don't know.
Get ready. Get ready.
We don't know what's going on.
Iran is switching to the euro.
Mm-hmm.
We are all
screwed.
That's going to
be a big deal.
And but no, Hugo Chavez is the bad guy. He gave us all that oil. He's been helping everybody, but we call him a commie.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. And, look what just happened with Milosevic and...
Yeah, he just died mysteriously in jail. Yeah, choked on a toothpick.
One thing you got to recognize is that we're looking at a global conspiracy here, and that really makes a big difference in how you view these things, because these people have absolutely no allegiance to the United States. They have no allegiance to us whatsoever. This is all a big game to them, and the end result, well, is quite amazing. But we're not going to get into that in this show, because, not quite enough time. But we have Dr. Michael Sala, I believe. Is that really a confirmed thing there, Shag? Yeah. Dr. Michael Sala is the host of... Yeah. All right. Host of Exopolitics. Okay, but yeah. All right.
And don't forget the hype method.
You got it. So, we're going to have Dr. Michael Sala on here, hopefully next week, if not the week after, and he does exopolitics, which is, he has categorized 57 different alien species, and he is showing their motives and agendas on planet Earth. Now, strangely enough, my father chased flying saucers for the government, my roommate's father chased flying saucers for the government, Shag's father chased flying saucers in Starlight. There's something going on, and there's, if we're the sons of these people that chased, that were involved in all these covert operations. So I'm real excited about having Dr. Sala on, because he's gonna just rock the house on that topic, But I went over to my friend's house for Thanksgiving, and his dad started telling me, oh yeah, we're in contact with 59 alien species right now. And, he just blew it all out there, just so nonchalant. He seemed to think that the chemtrail thing was a good thing, and that was because he was all for fleecing the planet of a few humans.
Jeez. Well, there's a book by, God, what's his name? Anyways, the name of the book is Behold a Pale Horse.
Oh, yeah, Cooper.
Yeah, William Cooper.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that there was a deal signed with the aliens to, for trade of their technology, they could abduct people.
Absolutely.
But later, he recanted that statement.
Yeah, of course.
Well, and then we know what happened to William Cooper.
1954, Eisenhower meeting.
Thank you.
1954. The
Eisenhower.
Yeah, no doubt. The Greys coming down there. I myself have a bona fide abduction story, and I'm pretty certain that I was abducted all my life, because my father was involved, and it tends to follow lineages. If you study abductions, you'll find that they follow families.
Would make sense. They want to follow the bloodline.
Exactly. You got it. That's exactly right. So I've had this in my life, all my life, and it's a big question. I'm actually going to do a show. I've been working on this one since I started on TV to film a regressive therapy session for myself and find out what happened that night when I lost 5 hours of time. Okay, I need to let you all know that next Wednesday, is that tomorrow, Shag? He's my calendar. Yeah, we're going to all be meeting down at the Spider House, and it's going to be a great time if you guys want to come and hang out and talk with us. The metaphysical meeting, you want to put that on there? Next Wednesday, tomorrow, we will have a great little talk and some coffee, and we're working on getting Spider House to show us some movies. And now I've got the Cafe Monday connection, and we might show some movies there. So tomorrow night at Spider House, show up, come and talk with me, talk with everybody. There's a whole group of us, but we're come such a wide variety of people, It's not just, you'd be amazed and astounded at who shows up at this group.
It's about stuff that matters.
It is.
You could get together and talk about sports.
Oh, God.
Or you get together and talk about stuff that matters.
I know. I'm so tired of babble. I have the worst time with babble, even though I'm kind of babbling now. Dan, I'm kind of sorry that Kent didn't come on the air. Oh, very exciting thing. I'm going to be interviewed by Tex Mars on his radio broadcast. I'm pretty excited about that.
I saw him on your show last week.
Was that nuts?
No, that was cool.
Yeah.
That is a wild book.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you start to put it together that way, when you start to look at, here are these guys who practice occult rituals, they've got a whole system of magic, all this effort goes into it, the timing, the special angels that you call upon. Tonight was supposed to be about calling upon angels as opposed to demons, right? I have Daniel Brunskowski, who he called on Raphael and Michael. Well, what really tripped me out is I was at the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show, and I was thinking about angels while I was there. And I kind of thought about myself being an angel in other people's eyes, because I've had these little angels drop into my world, and they, help me in a time of need. Well, I started looking around at who was helping me there in Tucson, and I had Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, Ezekiel. They were all there. I swear to God. I was living with Gabrielle in Tucson. I was going to Michael for advice, and all these different angel names going through. And then the people that weren't angel names were either like Splinter or Jesta, But Jesta made me this, right? And it's,
nice.
and it's rose quartz, amethyst, and pearl.
That took some time.
Yeah. He's been doing this for a long time, but if you see, it actually looks like an angel.
It does.
It was all angels and it was really tripping me out in the midst of all of seeing my first B-2 bomber and the gunned helicopters and the chemtrails and then all these angels in my world is.
I mean, if I may, I know there's two things I was going to say is, well, first, my father and I we went hunting in Van Horn. And we saw Van Horn, Texas, and it's about 100 miles southeast of El Paso, and there was this military aircraft. It was just flying low to the ground, and he was so close we could see the pilot turn his head and look at us as he flew by.
That's astounding.
Well, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, I got to see my first B-2 bomber flew right over our heads. That was pretty crazy. It didn't make a sound until it was past us.
I remember what I was going to mention, though. You mentioned angels. But, folks, it doesn't matter what you believe. The fact is the people in power, what they believe will affect you.
Right.
And that's why it's important to know your enemy.
Yeah, and recognize that this goes beyond simple psychological conditioning. There's more to it. There's the reasons why they have specific dates. There's a reason 911 was so used, that the towers were built, the Pentagon was built, the activity happened.
Well, think about it. If before that, if you asked somebody what 911 meant to them, they would have said the emergency number or whatever.
Yeah.
And now it has turned into this meme that has captured everybody's fear and aggression in one little ball. All you got to do is say 911, and everybody just gets real solemn and somber.
Well, one thing I've also noticed is if you look at all the police cars, speaking of 911 on the police cars, notice the stars that are on the police cars. You'll see the 7-pointed star of the Thelema, Aleister Crowley group, and I was just at Mardi Gras, and there they've got the pentagram with the moon, the crescent moon.
Another reason I don't go to Mardi Gras.
Yeah, well, that was on the police car, and if you look at the stars, each of those stars on the police cars actually has a magical meaning, and they're not put there by accident. You see these 7-pointed stars. That's what I'm trying to show you is that this thing runs rampant. There's a reason that the pentagram is on China, Russia, America, Iran, Iraq, all of them. It's all on their military.
Generals, they get stars when they get promoted.
Exactly. Well, we're down to our last 20 seconds.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks for coming by, yeah. And
Cafe Monday.
Cafe Monday, Thursday. The Cafe Spider House tomorrow. It's going to be a coffee time. So Spider House tomorrow, Cafe Monday, Thursday. South by Southwest all weekend. Keep your eye on the trails. Yeah.
Toast. Got you off quick.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you had some time, I'd go ahead and tell you what the plan of events is.
All right. Well, I need to pee and smoke.
I'll smoke with you.
All right. And then I'll come back and clean all this stuff. There's actually diamonds and rubies all over there.
Just leave it there.
No crank callers. I know. How fucking blessed are you?
비만 인구 60%, 과체중 인구 80%인 통남. 남태평양의 평화로운 섬나라에 비만으로 인한 재앙이 시작됐다.
High imported cattle food. We haven't been able to control it.
비만 인구 천만 시대. 비만이 우리의 생명을 위협하고 있다.
성원은 포텐시얼에 비해서 비만 동안 낮은 상태에서도 심혈관 질환과 대사 증후군의 위험이 높은데요.
2006 한국인 뱃살 보고서. 한국인은 왜 조금만 뚱뚱해도 건강에 치명적인가?